What is happening, everybody? It is so good to see you guys. So tonight it's a little bit special. Not me, who is the very to multiple channels. So it's first time not guys to you on so many different sites, and currently it's just literally open free on my feed. So that's probably what this camera will spit this way. What we're going to do is we're just going to come across this. Got some here so far. We've got the wonderful Connor Kemp says, hello, how is everybody? If I pull it, it's coming in through Facebook. And Connor, hello Connor, good to see you. Welcome to the show, buddy. So yeah, that's new tonight, that we are not just on one platform, we are on multiple platforms tonight. Being able to do what we do best here on Candid Live and sharing the love, people. Sharing the love and the positivity and the good vibes all around. So let's just go through. We're just going to close some of these, hopefully they can run a little bit better. So that's awesome. We're also on YouTube, which is really cool. So that's a really exciting adventure for us tonight. Taylor Clements, you've just come in and you've just said a big hello from Taylor. That's one of the things we really encourage in this. We want you guys to comment and let us know who is watching, whereabouts you're watching, and yeah, pretty much there. Hope everybody is keeping really, really well. A couple of things that's been going on this week, which I've loved, is I started taking masterclasses through the online site called Masterclass. So this week so far, I've done the Ron Hard, which is all about studio directing and directing big movies and stuff. So that has been really, really awesome, and I've really enjoyed watching those and learning some new things. The other thing that I have been on as well is the Penn and Teller Masterclass. So doing some magic. Now I don't have anything on me now, and I haven't really practiced, but hopefully I will in due course. It was a really, really awesome masterclass that I was able to take, so that was really, really exciting. So yeah, thanks for joining us tonight. We have an awesome show. We have a couple of things lined up. We have the wonderful interview with Alissa Klein, and then we also have Sophie's Insta. So we go on our Uplift Instagram and see what's going on in different people's lives, but also we get to check out what Sophie was doing this week, and Sophie always has something brand new for us to see. Also this week I have been watching with my wife something called SNG. Now, if anybody else watches this, please do comment, let me know. This is John Krasinski. I'll do it all the time. This side. John Krasinski, and he is a fabulous guy from America. He's a big movie star, and he's married to Emily Blunt. How cool is that? Emily Blunt. And he runs a thing called SNG, which is Some Good News. And if you guys are ever feeling down, and I know our show isn't around at that point, you can always flick back on YouTube and watch them. That's totally fine. But you can go and watch Some Good News on YouTube, and I would highly recommend it, because Amy and I have been left like speechless somehow just by how incredible the stuff that people are sharing out there and people are doing for one another. And it really truly is amazing to see how incredible our humanity is out there at this time during COVID-19, to be able to share that positivity and to share that love to one another. So want to keep encouraging you guys. Keep those comments coming in. Keep saying hi. Let us know what's kind of going on. This week you will have noticed that our charity has changed. Yes, I want to say massive thank you to everybody who helped us raise £70 for MNDA a couple of weeks ago. But we've moved to Stand By Me, and we want to really help their cause. I have a number of friends who are supporting them currently during their appeal. We're going to tell you about that in just a few more minutes. We actually have a sponsor child through Stand By Me. His name is Adana. He is a fabulous kid, and we actually just got a letter today that I haven't yet shown the girls from him, so I'm really excited to do that and let him see that. So we are streaming online to all of our platforms right now, which is epic. So make sure that you comment no matter where you're from. If you're in LinkedIn and you want to send us a comment, that will come through. If you're watching us live on YouTube, comment through there. It will come through and it will come up on the feed, and let us know. If you're on Facebook, on any of our Facebook platforms, whether it be the Uplift Performing Arts page, my personal page, so if there's any family out there, let me know you're watching. Hello. And then we also have our Uplift Performing Arts members, family and friends page. So do comment and let us know. Right now what I'm going to do, folks, is I'm going to show you a very quick video that's going to explain a little bit more about Stand By Me and this appeal that's currently going on, and how we're associating with them for this current appeal. So over to you guys.
Hi everyone, it's Johnny from Stand By Me. I just wanted to take a moment to give you an update on how we're caring for our kids during this difficult time. With our schools closed, we knew that our kids would go without food for days on end. We knew that we had to. In faith, we sent money to our staff to buy food to ensure that no child goes hungry. Our staff on the ground have already provided over 1,000 food parcels to families in Colombia, Romania and Ethiopia. We know that the journey through this pandemic will take a while, so we're committing to providing our kids and their families with food parcels for the next 6 months. We've heard firsthand the fears and anxieties that our families have, but also their joy and thankfulness as people have reached out across the world during their hour of need. As we support families around the world, we're showing them hope in the midst of this crisis. So we want to say thank you for your support during this difficult time.
So, folks, there you go. That's the appeal that we're kind of working towards now with Stand By Me and with Johnny. I was talking to him just yesterday about things, getting things set up for this. So, if you guys are able to donate during this difficult time and you want to help towards a family get some food and nourishment during this difficult time, do just either you use the QR code down here, get your smartphone and scan it, or you could also just use the URL that I've just posted up onto the Facebook page. And mostly, I think it goes out to all the chats, so that's pretty cool. I've got a big tick for YouTube, but not a tick for Facebook, so maybe there's a bit of an issue there, so I'll have a look at that at some point, jump on the computer a little bit later on. So please do keep those comments coming in. I'd love to see them. Hopefully there's not an issue with the new software that's maybe preventing those coming in, so do just send us a little hiya and all that kind of stuff through them to let us know and to kind of let us see if you guys are there and the community of Uplift has arrived and you guys are wanting to jump on board. So without further ado, folks, I think what we're going to do now is we're going to move on to our studio sessions. It's Tuesday. Right there, look at that. Studio sessions. Every Tuesday we organise somebody to come onto the show who is a musical artist, whether they be a performer or a singer-songwriter or a part of a band or whatever, or just loves the joy of music. We invite them to come onto the show and to just share the love of music, pretty much, and entertain you wonderful people. So, folks, let's get the studio audience. Big, massive round of applause as we bring on right now Miss Alissa Klein. Hello, Alissa. How are you?
I'm doing great, Ryan. How are you doing?
So good. So good. And it's so good to see your smiling face.
Thank you. Good to see yours too.
Thanks. We have a couple of comments coming in so far. So the first one is Mr. Connor. He's like, hello, Alissa. Good to see ya. Connor? Okay, so Connor and Taylor are like the biggest fans of this show. They are like the first two to comment every single time. But what's really cool is like there you go. Look at that. This might as well just be Candid Live for Connor and Taylor because they just love it. We have another ones too. There's Russell coming in. He's like, yes, Alissa.
Hey, Russell.
And then we have the wonderful Karen Logue, who's also good. Yo, hick up, girl. She is having a proper bop. So we're surrounded by people who love us and that we love them, which is awesome. So let's start off with you. Let's start off with who is Alissa Klein. Give our viewers a little bit of an idea. Now, most of us will know you, but say, for example, we don't. P.S. Lovely Irish mug. And
I know. I had to. I'm drinking Irish breakfast tea, and I had to in my Irish mug. This is actually my first. This was one of my first gifts from the first dinner theater cast that I was part of.
Oh,
and I use it all the time. Yeah, in fact, I had to pull it out of the dishwasher to wash it so I could use it now.
Oh, I love it. That's awesome. Good on you. Well, actually, do you know what? See, before we get into it, right, we are going to start a new segment on the show. Alyssa, you're like the pioneer for all of this kind of cool stuff. So you're the pioneer for us streaming on multiple sites, but also the fact that we are going to start introducing a thing for our guest, which is called the Name Game 30 Seconds. Okay, so what's gonna happen is I'm gonna put 30 seconds. She's like freaking out. She's like, "What have you done to me? Why am I here?" So let me see where it is. Okay, here it is. Don't stop. Go back. Okay, so you can see there's 30 seconds on the clock, right?
Mhm.
Don't look petrified. You're fine. You're fine. And what we're going to do is I'm going to ask you a question, okay? And you have 30 seconds to try and name as many of these things as you can. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to need some paper just to make a tally of how many you get. Okay? So clear your mind. Clear your mind. Time to get some jazzy music going.
Okay.
This reminds me of your album, by the way. Boom, boom, boom,
Yeah,
boom.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
Just, disclaimer, this first one is from my wife. I was like, can you give me an option? She's like, yes, do this. I'm like, what? So anyway, it's going to be fun. Okay, Alissa, you have 30 seconds from when the timer starts to name as many spreads that you put on bread as possible. Ready? Your time starts now.
Okay. Peanut butter. Jelly, which is American jelly, by the way, which is what you guys would say is jam.
30 seconds.
Mustard, mayonnaise, pate. Do you spread that?
Yes.
We don't spread that here. Honey. Can I do different nut butters like almond butter, cashew butter, sunflower bun? Does that count? Okay.
3 seconds.
Do you spread avocado?
Yes. Time's up. Time's up. Ding, 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 ding,
Yeah.
ding, ding, ding. You can totally spread avocado on butter or on toast. Totally. Yeah. Totally.
Butter. But I use.
Okay, so Alissa, you got a grand total of 10. So my studio audience would like to give you a massive round of applause. Well done, Alissa. Well done. You're even going to get an air horn. Wait for it. And all the comments are coming in. Well done, Alissa. You did so good. Okay, so that was a new section of our show. Look forward to that each week. I'm sorry, but like my wife, when I was outside, I was like, Amy, and she was running after the girls at this point. I was just like, hey, Amy, give me an idea. And she's like, spreads. I'm like, spreads.
You know what though?
Whoa.
I mean, it's so much when you have a timer going and you're being filmed and interviewed. No, your brain, you're like, oh my gosh, what do I I'm sure.
I love to call it karaoke syndrome. You know that karaoke syndrome, like whenever you go to a karaoke party and somebody says, hey, sing a karaoke song, and you're like, oh, what will I sing? Oh. And then you're like,
there's like thousands of songs.
Oh my gosh, so many.
Plenty, yeah.
So
that's
many.
That's it. Karaoke syndrome, exactly.
You did an amazing job. 10 is hey, you are top of my leaderboard. So there you go. There you go, Alissa. You are top of my leaderboard. You should be proud that you're top of my leaderboard. So congratulations. Well done. Now, Alissa, let's move on into our interview. Let's talk a little bit about you. So give everybody a little bit of your background from when you were like a child and stuff, where you were brought up and things like that.
Yeah. So I was born in California, in Orange County. I still am living in California, but I moved back here. And I grew up in a musical family, so I'm the second of 4 kids. And I don't know that my parents set out to be like, we're going to create like a musical like band family thing. Like, I don't think that's what they were planning on, but it's definitely become that. And then it's also like been maintained to be like that, if you will. It's like whenever I'm home, it's like, where is an opportunity that we, what church can we play at or something like that, So, I was just talking about this recently about how music at some point did become like explicitly taught to me. I did receive formal instruction for it, but like we listened to music all the time. My parents sang all the time, and we sang all the time. There's a video of me at, I think, 2 years old singing Oklahoma.
Wow.
Obviously from my mother.
Oh, yeah.
My mother, theater. My dad gave me like the Beatles. So music was something we all just did. And then when I think I was like 4 or 5, I started playing piano. And then when you're a homeschooling parent, you don't always get the chance to do the things you want to do, like teach your children piano. So I started taking, you sometimes need to hire other people to do things you can actually do. But got a piano teacher when I was 10, and I think I started writing songs really when I was like 12 or 13.
Wow, so it's only like a 2-year turnaround from actually starting the piano to then being able to like start even the concept of writing songs.
Yeah, I think, I remember like playing, very simple songs, and I knew scales and stuff, but when I started taking, my teacher was named Penny, Miss Penny Coward, and when I started taking lessons from her, she taught me like chords, and she taught me, some basic theory, I guess.
Yeah.
And so, but I was really fortunate. I grew up listening to really great songwriters, and I'd always been a reader. I'd always been really drawn to words and stuff. So coming up with songs, I started out kind of secret about it. I didn't show people except my sister, Natalie, for a time. And then eventually, I think when I was like 14 or 15, I started to actually perform them.
That's cool. What is your kind of motive whenever it comes to like songwriting? Do you like try and figure out the melody first, or do you start like writing the actual lyrics down and then put a melody to the lyrics?
I usually get what I call a hook. So I'll get like the theme of the song. Basically, sometimes it ends up being the title, and like for example, postscript. I was sitting in a park. I had my ukulele with me, and I had this little like da 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 da. That's not the melody at all, but I was playing an 8-9 chord basically, and I was playing it, and I was like, oh, this is cool. But then I heard in my head like, give me one day where I could go back. I just heard that like one line. I sang it over and over and over, and I didn't necessarily connect it to that little riff I was playing on the uke.
Yeah.
But I sang it over and over until it felt good. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes I would just take a line, a phrase, and I would sing it a bunch of different ways, and then I'd be like, oh, that's a good one. I like that. Yeah. And then I was able to usually write the song around that one line.
Which is a great link, because actually we spoke about this at the start of the show, and just with everything else going on, I completely forgot. So Alissa is going to perform for us guys later on in the show. Woohoo! And we were talking about it, and we've obviously, us over here have obviously heard a lot of her albums and stuff, and she's on Spotify. So make sure you go on to Spotify and all those wonderful streaming sites as well to be able to listen to her music, so that she gets the royalties she deserves. And basically, guys, Alissa was saying, well, I have some new music, which I'm happy enough to play, but also if they wanted me to play something off the other album, kind of give me an idea. So if you guys want to comment in our little any of our social media sites there, whether it's YouTube or any of the Facebook pages or LinkedIn, guys, just comment and let us know whether you want to hear Postscript or whether you want to hear one of the new kind of songs. Okay, so Leslie, we spoke a little bit about the fact that oh my word, what is this? Jonathan Daniel Ares, is it? Fun fact. Hold on, I'm gonna bring it on the screen because you know what he's like. Funny story about him. It was his birthday recently, and so fun fact. Every time that we load our equipment out of a venue, I played Alyssa's music and danced while I worked. Probably not the safest, but totally worth it. That's fun. That's fun.
Yeah.
Just a complete tangent. With regards to Jonathan, we were homestaying together in Germany in this beautiful ranch style house. The guy had a really old Corvette that he had done up, but they were a family where they brought up horses and all that kind of fun stuff, and they brought out one horse one night that was bright white, and they stuck a unicorn on it, and Jonathan was wearing all white, right? Even I think he might have had a black hat on, but he had all white. And then the next thing was he was asked to get up on the horse, and they took him for a walk around with the horse. Then he disappeared for 10 minutes, and when he came back, he was so dirty. He's commenting right now. They actually just messaged me. That's hilarious. He was all covered in dirt, and I have video proof that he was taken inward to where the horses train and canter, and he fell off. So he ended up rolling around in a whole pile of dirt, and it was one of the funniest things ever.
My word.
He's an awesome guy. But anyway, back to you, Alissa, right? So you grew up in a musical family, right? We know fine rightly. You have some really talented brothers and a sister. What was it like being brought up in a family like that? What was there ever a sense of competitiveness, I have to be a better musician than you, or was it just, hey, I want just have fun and make music with you guys.
So it I wouldn't describe it as competitive. I would say it was a bit more like we all had our niche that we fell into.
Yeah.
So Natalie was like the musical theater person, and I was the singer-songwriter, and Gideon was the cellist, among other things. And our nickname for him is like Captain Ears because of his perfect pitch and stuff. Yeah. And then Gabe was the drummer. So I think probably, and they would all have different stories about this. I think one of the difficult things is removing yourself from that niche, and like trying to like go into somebody else's in a way, not because they're territorial, but because you feel like, oh well, like I'm good at this, or like I did like a little bit of musical theater, not a ton, and it's not like Natalie would have been like, get out. This is my
no, I want to be the diva.
Yeah, it's just, I think when someone, I think at least for me, when someone is so good at what they do, I ride this line between I admire them so much and I don't ever want to try what they're doing. And so when, like, I think, like there are so many, like guitar is a great example. I have a guitar in this room right now, and I don't ever play it because I have 3 really great guitarists in my family. Yeah. And I mean, Gabe though is really good at like not sticking to the niche, and again, like my siblings might be like, oh, Alyssa, that's absolutely inaccurate, but it's my perspective of it. So like, yeah, it's so much easier for me to be like, I'm just gonna get one of them to play guitar.
Right.
They'll be great, instead of me learning and not and taking the time to be. It takes vulnerability to not be good at something and do it all the time until you are good at it. So I think that's probably the trickiest thing. But no, I think one of the most beautiful things about growing up in a musical family is that music is part of everything. I mean, like I wake up to it, I go to bed to it. I mean, when I'm in the house, somebody's always drumming or playing piano or singing, and you know, somebody starts singing and then you're in a different room and you start harmonizing to what they're singing. And so I think I think what I love about it is we will be able to do this for the rest of our lives together because music is such a low impact activity. You know, it's not like we're all football players or something where we can't do that.
About it is like you guys already have your traditions about how you do those different things. Like for example, like Christmas, we're very blessed. Your sister always sends us a Reindeer Coalition CD. And it's the one thing I always look forward to Christmas because I always put it in my van and play it during Christmas. And like one of my favorites is still Feliz Navidad that you did a couple of years ago, just because it's so different, like compared to like so many different things, you know. But like that brings you guys together, but not just yous. It brings like a group of other musicians that are like family and alumni and all this kind of stuff together. People who grew up at university together or college, or people who just live down the street who are also fabulous musicians. Just all come together because of the joy of music and put these kind of things together. And like you obviously as well with your brothers, you were saying like you play piano really well. So then the other guys could work on drums or guitar or saxophone or whatever it may be, but then that starts to create a band kind of setting. And I know that you guys had a band for a while and kind of did some gigs and stuff, so give us a little bit more about information. How did that kind of start, and what was the kind of like vibe of the band?
Yeah, so we had a band called Flamingo, and I mean our first band experience was definitely playing as a worship band in church, because we have everything in our family to be a full band. So that was our first, you know, we learned a lot about being a band from my dad. My dad is a really great band leader. And so when I think I was like 15, and Gideon joined a band with a guy named Sam Hunter, and I think they were called like PG-13 because they were all 13 or something. And that band did not, they played a few gigs and stuff. They actually played some cool locations, like Third and Lindsley, I think they played, and that's a really great venue in Nashville because they had connections and stuff. But then they just formed or disbanded, and then it was like Gabe, Gideon, Sam, and we had Flamingo. And we did that for several years, and then Sam decided to kind of do the solo route, and so we were looking for a bass player, and my dad filled in and then just stayed in. And so we did, yeah. And so then we ended up making a record. It's just like a self-titled flamingo, flamingo, and then flamingo, and yeah. So that was a good experience. We learned a lot. We recorded that record on Tascam J88s, which are it's digital tape, and
Wow.
so yeah. In fact, we had one song we had to record entirely. Like we had to record it twice because the first time there was a glitch in the tape and it ruined the whole song after we recorded everything. So yeah, and we mixed it, and like I remember we had to like mix it live, and like so like one of us like would bring the faders up and like the other would bring it, it was a really good learning experience.
Which is completely different to today, like unbelievably different to today.
Yeah, and I definitely was like, I don't know that I like mixing. That was, I was like, I can't hear the things that it takes it takes a lot of skill, I think, to be able to mix a song really well. And so, but it's funny because Gabe at the time was like not very interested, and now this is what he does for a living. So you cannot like set your course based on your childhood, I think.
That's hilarious.
So, yeah.
So I also find this earlier, and I wanted to share this with everybody, but like I came across this earlier. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Do you still have this?
I do. Yeah.
Do.
It's unfortunately it looks
right
a little bit worse. It looks a little bit worse now. The paint on the outside needs to be redone, but the interior, my parents were very gracious, and they were like, "Hey, we're gonna redo the interior of your car." And so yeah, this is a 1957 Chevy 210 4-door sedan.
That is so cool, because like it's one of those cars that you look at and you kind of think like, those American Rush shows that they kind of find it and do it up, but you have kept this one in like, well, I don't know what it looks like right now. This was a while ago, but in pretty pristine condition. Like this is bound to be worth some really good dough someday as well. Like you might as well use it as like an investment, because it's only going to go up from here, because they don't make cars like that anymore. Like look at the lines of it. Look at the white wall tires of it. Like it's so cool. This isn't a car show in any way. I do love cars, and I had the privilege. I don't know if you know this. I drove this once. So like, did you know that?
I didn't know that. I don't think so. No, but it's yeah.
Yeah, me and your brother, Gabriel, went out on a drive, and then we went down to some petrol station, turned around. He was like, "You want to drive it back?" And I was like, yeah, come on. So I got to take it for a bit of a spin. And my favorite part was like the wheel just went like this, but it didn't move a lot.
I know.
It just
yeah, like
this.
And old Hollywood movies suddenly made sense when I got behind the wheel, because you're like, how come they're always like, here we are, we're driving, and like they're not moving? It's because
it doesn't do anything.
It doesn't do anything.
No, you literally have to be like, yeah, just to get it to turn. But that was one of my, I love that. And plus the fact that at that point, I think there was a small hole somewhere that let a lot of fumes into the car. So we're all driving windows down going, all right, this is the car. It was really, really cool. So then you obviously grew up musical family, and we know that your family have all been a part of the Young Americans, which is another reason why we're connected, is because I was a Young American, Amy was a Young American, and everybody in your family now has been a Young American, all at different stages. I literally think it was Natalie first, because she was in the same year as me. Is that right? I think so.
She was in 06.
06, yeah, same year as me.
She was 7, so she was the year after you.
Oh, really?
I think. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
You guys did. I think you did a few projects though together.
Yeah, we did a couple of different tours and stuff together for sure. And now she's like one of my wife's best friends, so they talk all the time. But like it was Natalie, then you, then Gabriel, then Gideon. Gideon and Gabriel.
Gideon and then
okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what was that like? Because obviously your mom and your dad were in the group. That's how they met and fell in love. So how was it going? Like, kind of not reliving their steps, because the Young Americans, when your mom and dad were in the group, were completely different than what they kind of are now, right? So what was what was that like?
So for my I think one way it really impacted me was my mom used to have this get together once a month, and they called it Mom's Luncheon, but it was with all of her Young American friends, and they would bring their kids. And so I grew up with all these people, like Danny Carey was somebody I grew up with, and I'm not sure, there's a little bit of a gap. So like McKenna Basaha was another one, and I mean I grew up with all the Carey kids, and they all did the YAs as well. So but yeah, there were a good number of kids that we all ended up like following in our parents' footsteps and joining the group. But that was my childhood was my mom's friend group, like they all had kids at the same time, and so I kind of grew up with this expectation of like, this is what I am gonna have. So then I did college first, and then I university in British terms, and I graduated, and then I decided to join the group, and I did it more because I was like, I'm always going to wonder if I should have done this,
right?
And so I think I'm so glad I did it. I made a lot of friends, and that was what I went in. I was like, I want to leave the group with like friendships, like. And those are, when I get married, those are the people that are going to be like my bridesmaids and stuff. Yeah. I mean, my roommates are guys I performed with and stuff. So, I think the trick though is that, you do get, pegged as like your parents in some way. So I definitely got solos because they were things my mom did, and I think I sound like my mom in some ways, but not like Natalie does.
No,
but like
Natalie and your mom are very similar.
Yeah, but I sang Somewhere Over the Rainbow on a few like tours and stuff, and I'm pretty sure I got that because that was something my mom would have done.
Yeah.
And I mean I love doing it, but I don't know that I'm like they usually pick like the like sweet blonde girl to sing Rainbow, not me.
Well, it was really cool to see like how different generations had gone through different things, because I remember our Boyne year, the dinner theater one, that your sister sang the song Blue Room that your mum had originally recorded with the Young Americans. But what was really cool was Bill had the idea of doing it where Natalie sang the song first, and then your mom sang after, and then they both sang together, and it was a really cute, like not physically, but like through the track and through a couple of different videos. But what was even cooler for me was in the Michigan shows that we did, that Milton Anderson, God rest his soul, the founder of the Young Americans, he was there. He conducted it, and he conducted it when your mom was in the group. And to me, us doing it on the tour rather than in the dinner theater, it was so much more kind of like, oh, this is so cool to see, all these different things. But then also, then at Christmas show, I don't know if your mom never do Christmas show. It was just your sister.
My mom and my dad came back to be like the parents in the show. There's a segment where they sang it, but Christmas show wasn't around at the time that my parents. I think it started in the 80s.
Yeah.
And so that was after my parents' time.
Well, another funny one was when your sister was in the group, she did the first Wonderful Time of the Year. No, is that the one? The waltz?
Oh, is that time of year?
There you go. So she did that, but then you went on to do that as well, and you've done that in a number of different shows as well. So I think it's really cool how they kind of pick, and then you get people like me who's just the boyfriend and goes whistling down the stage and goes, and where's our gal? So that was always fun. So yeah, I think that's really cool. It's one of those kind of ones you look back on and go, it's kind of just like passing the baton, kind of from one person to the next, kind of keeping that legacy going, which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you did Young Americans. You went on multiple tours and different parts of the world. Where were they? Where were some of the places you went to?
My first tour was Japan, South Korea, and then I took a break, and then I did UK, South Africa tour. Actually, James mentioned it. James Pattison mentioned it when he was on here. So I was on that tour with him, and actually we did Japan and South Korea together too. And then we did Boyne 2013 together. And then my last thing was a USA. It was like Michigan, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and then a little bit of Canada. That was my last tour. And that was a good way to end. But like I did so many Christmas shows. I did so many, like 5, 6. I don't even remember.
But that's not a bad thing, because out of all the things the Young Americans do, that's one show that is huge. Like it's such a brilliant production, with the LED screens, the amount of cast people that are there to take part, people who are alumni and they come back to help. Like it really is. It's one of the best Christmas shows in the world, if you ask me. And especially in California, like it's really cool.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I love it. I love Christmas, so that was another reason I kept coming back for it. Yeah.
So we got there, we got Young Americans, and then some guy decided, he's like, hey, we're doing a dinner theater. I need somebody who's got good at piano and somebody who's good at making parts and somebody who's got a great heart. Hey, Alissa, you want to come over and do it? And then you went, yeah. So then we at Uplift were able to bring you over to run a number of different dinner theaters with us. So talk to us about how that kind of worked out and felt and, you know, things like that.
Yeah, so I did 5 in total. Well, almost 5.
So, yeah.
My last one, I definitely got Quincy or I forget what they call
sick.
I got really sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I helped create the show and stuff, but didn't actually get to do it. But yeah, so no, it was
literally made it back for the last show.
Yeah, I did. I came to see. I felt really good.
Yeah, came back for the last show.
Me steroids. Yeah, I felt great. I was like, why didn't you do this earlier? But yeah, so I did 5 dinner theaters with you, and I loved. Northern Ireland has this like it's one of those places that I was like, okay, I could definitely live here. Like, I've traveled to enough countries that sometimes I'm like, this is really cool to visit. Mm-hmm. But Northern Ireland, I'm like, oh man, I love it. Although I feel like I'd probably like balloon because I would just read books in the rain. Like, that's what I want to do. When it starts raining, I'm like, oh, it's time to read a book. And that happens every day. So I would not accomplish anything great while I was there. Yeah, but no, I love the Irish people, and I love, for me, it's like whenever I almost don't want to like go explore Ireland because I want to go see the people that I know and love there. Yeah. But yeah, it was really cool. It was definitely, the timeline for dinner theater is so fast. So, it's definitely like one of those things where you're like, oh, sleep, what is that? But yeah, I miss my boys, Martin and Christian and Andrew, the band. They're the best. And that was always such a great experience working with them. And I'm working with the kids.
He's really just gelled together. Like, there was so many different personalities there, but it was cool because it worked. Do you know what I mean? Like, Christian sometimes is off on a complete tangent, and then you're like, Christian, reel it back in. And then you've got Marty, who is the chillest man in the world, like cowboy boots, long hair. Yeah, I'll play, that's fine. And then you've got Andrew, who's just like, I want to play music. Come on, let's play music. Let's go. And they stepped up in the last show as well, because obviously it was a 4-piece band, and then all of a sudden we had to drop one down, and then those guys are like, all right, well, I'm going to jump from here to here, and then we're going to swap from guitar to bass, and we're going to move around and do all that kind of stuff. So, and I don't know if without your leadership as a band member, that would have actually, to go from the first dinner theater that we had with you guys as a team to what that last one was, you could see the growth and the depth as a band to get to that stage that actually made it possible that actually happened in the last DT. I think that was really, really cool. And that's kudos to you, Alissa, for being that band leader to kind of help push things along, move things along, and have that kind of vision to make it what it was. So I think that's really cool. And you deserve another little round of applause from my in-house band. So thank you.
Yeah, they're all really good musicians, and I think as time went on, we all grew as people, and they got better as musicians. I don't know. I think I declined as a musician, but I think when what worked was like we became faster at being able to find solutions, right, or figure out transitions, or because we knew how things worked, and that just comes from being together.
Like the first year we sat in, I think it was the Henley room, and I give you guys ideas, went away, came back, and I was expecting us to be like 3 or 4 medleys down the line, and you'd still be on the first one. That was because you were like, all right, guys, I think we should go from this chord to this chord and then to this chord. And then someone's like, no, we should do this because this needs to stay in the heart of what it is. And someone else is like, but that doesn't go with my bass riff, so let's not do that. Or, whatever that may be. And then to what it was in the last one where we had it all set up on the stage, and I sat there and I was like, all right, I'm gonna sing it. I want it to go like da 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 da, and then go into the next one like this da 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 da. And you're like, oh, okay, I got it. And then you played it, and you're like, Wow. So I think the growth in it is amazing. And to me, it's one of those projects that I look at and think, okay, well, it's not dead in the water. Like dinner theater for us was one of those ones that it's like, it was so good. But after a time, and because of the organization that we are and our members, if we do something so much, it doesn't really like become that kind of like special anymore. So we changed it last year to Broadway to Belfast, which everybody raved about, and then we tried to switch it up a few different things. So for me, dinner theater is not dead. I just think as we get bigger and stuff like that, if we're able to offer it later on down the line, it'll come around. It'll be really cool. So looking forward to that. So tell us a little bit about now. So where are you living? What are you doing?
Yeah, so I live just outside of LA, and I do a couple things. I teach English online. That's this whole background.
Yeah, Teacher Alissa, I see it.
Teacher Alissa, yep. And I really do love that. That's something that's been really good, and that kind of got me it got me a little bit into what I'm studying now. I'm in a master's program for speech therapy. So awesome. I wanted to get into that because as a vocalist, vocal health is something that, like, vocalist and vocal health, there's like a kind of a big gap between the two, and I wanted to bring them together a little bit. Yeah. And so I'm learning a lot. I'm also learning a lot about stuff that's not related at all to that, which is good. I mean, I'm learning a lot, and yeah, so that takes up a solid amount of time. That does, but so I graduate in a year, and then I'm doing right now, the way music is in my life is that it's in a sacred way. So I'm the worship leader at a Methodist church, and right now we're doing Zooms which is cool. So I wake up and I just walk over to my piano and and start doing stuff. But yeah, so that's cool, because I hadn't really done worship like that in a long time, just because of traveling, and then when I was living elsewhere, there wasn't a role for me in that way in my church. I kind of did it in maybe small group settings and stuff. But so this has been really lovely to do that. But yeah, so right now music is just kind of a different thing. I was gigging live a lot more, and that's changed. Yeah. So yeah, I think the focus, the current focus right now is making, like, creating two pathways for my music. So writing songs puts the puzzle pieces of my heart together. It helps me figure out what it is that I lived through, or what I'm feeling, or something like that. When I can sing about it, it's like, oh, I really know, and I really processed that event. So that's one thing, but that doesn't always work commercially. And also, when it's a personal thing, you don't always want somebody to touch it, because you're like, no, this is my story. This is how it happened. But I also think commercial writing is really cool. Mm-hmm. And so I have a guy I've written a number of songs with, and I'm looking maybe for some other co-writers and stuff, but writing just for, like, hey, this is a method, and we're gonna put out songs that are catchy and that we like, but that aren't necessarily so personal that we can't change it because of trying to be authentic to the story. So I think, it's like, okay, these are the two different paths that I want to be on, and it's okay to hop back and forth between the two.
Gives you that real variety about it, which I think is awesome, and that's what music's all about, having different varieties of being able to do different things, and I think that's really cool. So we know you're going to sing for us. Comments have been coming through where people have just been saying that they love your old album, a couple of different ones coming through, but nothing like, I want this song. There's been a couple of, like, I really enjoy this one, I would love to hear this one, but, like, I think it would be really cool for you to play something new. I personally think it would be something really, really cool. If you're game for that, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. I'm just gonna have to transition to the piano here. So you're gonna have to come with me through my office, which you'll discover is just a walk-in closet.
Woo!
Woohoo!
Right.
Dropping stuff here. Okay. All right. Good. It's a messy.
It's all good. It's all good.
So yeah. Okay.
Jonathan just messaged. He's like, pick me. It's like, pick me. I'm like, Jonathan, we would always pick you. Always pick you. But Russell also, he's like, do Do a new one. And I'm game for that too. I love hearing new stuff as well. So I think this is really cool. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Candid Live. If you're just joining us, this is the wonderful Alissa Klein, and she is now going to sing for you one of her brand new songs. So Alissa, it's all over to you.
All right, thank you. Okay, let's see if you can hear this. This song is called Good and Blue. It's about, it's literally just a Wikipedia search about hues of the color blue, and there's kind of there are a couple verses about specific hues of blue, and it turned out, I don't know, I kind of like it. You look good, you look good, you look good in blue. You look good, you look good, you look good in blue. You look good, you look good, you look good in blue, blue. Oh, Alice, can I call you Baby Lee? High up in your palace, you're the perfect first celebrity. Broken rules and cigarettes, you got your fashion and fame, socialite bar etiquette. The Navy even knows your name. It's something old and something new, it's something borrowed and something blue like velvet, blue like suede shoes, blue like eyes crying in the rain, blue like a song on the radio playing. You look good, you look good, you look good in blue. You look good, you look good, you look good in blue. You look good, you look good, you look good in blue, blue. Tiffany, you're the picture of sophistication, luxury. You got diamonds for each occasion, haute couture and art beau. 1961 in New York City, Hepburn and Stanhope in Row, Truman Capote, a petit déjeuner. It's something old and something new, it's something borrowed, it's something blue like velvet, blue like suede shoes, blue like iron in the rain, blue like a song on the radio playing. You look good, you look good, you look good in blue. You look good, you look good, you look good in blue. You look good, you look good, you look good in blue, blue. Persian, Prussian, Byzantine, the saddest eyes you've ever seen. Midnight, Nanking, indigo. Never ever have you ever felt so low. Persian, Prussian, Byzantine, the saddest eyes you've ever seen. Midnight, Nanking, indigo. Never ever have you ever felt so low. It's something old and something new, something borrowed and something blue like velvet, blue like suede shoes, blue like eyes crying in the rain, blue like a song on the radio playing, blue like velvet, blue like suede shoes, blue like eyes crying in the rain, blue like a song on the radio playing. You look good, you look good, you look good in blue. You look good, you look good, you look good in blue. You look good, you look good, you look good in blue. You look good, you look good, you look good in blue. You look good, you look good, you look good in blue. You look good, you look good,
Alissa, that was just tremendous. That was just amazing. I would listen to that song and afterwards I would actually feel good in blue. And I would look good in blue, I'm sure, as well. I don't. It's totally right what you were saying last time. Like songs that are catchy and cool. Like you could totally imagine yourself like running or doing, you know. Yeah, it's one of those like what's a song called? It's like a word worm or something like that. It's just stuck in your head. That kind of thing, and I love that. That's so cool. Comments are coming in here, loving it. We've got, let's see, Connor was like, she is awesome in every way. She's like Mary Poppins. And then Jonathan was like, woot woot. I also love the fact that just before you started to play, I turned around and I had said to him, it's okay, Jonathan, we pick you, you know, like, as a joke. And he literally commented back, just going like, no, excuse me, pick me the song. Like, I could totally imagine him saying that, and then he replied also with some smiley faces. So, Jonathan, love you. And then Kylie, she must know you. Is this Kylie?
Yeah.
Yep,
she's a friend of mine.
Sending some love hearts. And then Judith, do you know? Is this Judith? Do you know this Judith?
Judith, yep.
You know,
I sure do.
I'm like, okay, all right. Now I'm going to go back here a little bit because just before we conclude our interview, I do want to ask you about. I think it's this guy.
Oh yeah,
this guy.
That guy.
So that guy, he commented, and I was like, I recognize that name. Thank you, Russell. Russell has just confirmed it is called an earworm. Thank you very, very much, Russell. I appreciate it. If anybody really likes photography, they should follow Russell because he has the most incredible Instagram as well and Facebooky stuff. Unbelievable. Yeah. So anyway, is it Emery?
Emre. Yeah.
Okay.
Emre for sure.
First of all, you got to show us the hand. You got to show us. There you go. Put a ring on it, right? So Alissa, when she was over here last time, she was single, and now she's not single, ladies and gentlemen. She is engaged. She is getting married someday. We don't know. I don't know. Not this year, but with everything, what's the kind of dealio with that?
Well, so my fiance is Turkish, as in like born, raised, currently living in Turkey.
Yeah.
And he's absolutely wonderful. I love him very much. And so when I met him, I was because I didn't do dinner theater with you guys last year because it wasn't happening. I just went and lived in Turkey. I was like, what's a good?
Okay, go to Turkey, guys.
Yeah. So I lived there for 3 months, and I met him while I was there, and we did long distance for a while, and now, now we're getting married. So the complication is that when you marry, you would know this.
I would know this.
When you marry a foreigner, you have to go through a visa
trouble.
process.
No, I'm just kidding.
They cause you so
much trouble.
No, it's a good trouble. Yeah. So we're having him come here. So for us to get married, and that just takes extra paperwork and time. And so we're like 2 months into that paperwork process right now.
Cool. Keep going. Stay positive with it. Sometimes after a while, it just drags, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I want it done." But you just got to keep going. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Amy was the same. It took us over a year to get stuff sorted out for her, and she was here for a little bit, and then she had to go back over for a year, and we did the whole long distance thing. And God bless the fact that we had Skype at that point. We didn't have Facebook Messenger or anything, but we had Skype, so that always helped. But Alissa, that's not the full story, sweetie. That is not the full story, because if anybody knows you and was on your Facebook page, they will have known that this guy is special, because this guy has gone above and beyond of how to actually propose to you. I'm not even going to do it justice, so I'm just going to let you very quickly tell us this story.
Yeah. So Emery outloves me in every way. I have definitely learned a deeper way of loving because of him. So I flew to Turkey in February for his sister's wedding, and that was awesome. Turkish weddings are really cool. And so then he was like, hey, the next day after the wedding, we're going somewhere tonight. Pack your bags. We left at 2 a.m. And we drove. Yeah, we drove from the capital city to this magical park called Cappadocia, and we got there at 6:30 in the morning and got out of the car as all these hot air balloons were taking off. And there's 70 at the time. There were 70 hot air balloons in the sky that morning, and it was very cold. And it was I guess 0 Celsius, I guess. So it was pretty chilly, and we. we walked over to this place, and he had said we were gonna have breakfast. So there was a table there, table and chairs, and I was like, "Are we having breakfast out here? It's so cold." But then I saw it grown, and I was like, "Whoa! I think I'm getting proposed to." So yeah, he put this sweet video together for me to watch, and
it makes the rest of us look rubbish.
Oh it was truly magical. Yeah, I was like, wow, I wish I could watch my life in slow motion all the time.
The fact that you have that video to go back to and watch is amazing. Like, that's incredible. I watched it, and Amy watched it, and we sat there going, did this actually happen? This is like something Disney would organize.
Yeah,
you know,
I know. It was
amazing. It was so cool. Yeah. So we are wishing you all the very best with that. We look forward to meeting this guy someday as well. I'm sure we'll definitely meet him at some point. We have a couple of little congratulations and stuff coming in here. Here's one from Fiona McToll. She's congratulations, love hearts. That's Molly's mum. Also, Fiona, as you're watching, I also want to give you a little shout out because I saw that video on your TikTok with Molly and your husband Marty, and I laughed so hard. It was so good. So good. So thank you very much, Fiona. I love you. Alyssa, do you know this guy?
Oh, that's a girl. I do know Guzde. Yeah,
so
she's Turkish.
Sorry.
Whoopsies. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah, Guzde.
Oh, that's cool.
Hi,
that's cool. So lots more congratulations coming in. Lots more. Jonathan says he loves you as well. He's probably saying I love me too. He says I also approve of him. I didn't know. Hold on, that's the wrong one. There. Has Jonathan met him?
Nope. But we've talked.
But I approve. He's like, I approve. All right. Jonathan has had the final say, people. He has had the final say. Alyssa, thank you so much for coming on Candid Live. I hope you've had a wonderful, wonderful time watching it and being here and enjoying our good old banter and conversation. The whole purpose of the show is just to share a bit of love, a bit of positivity, get to know some new people out there in the world. Oh my word, Alyssa, wait do you see?
Hi, my love.
Hello. I feel so dummy right now. So that's awesome. And Alyssa, thank you so much. Now, what we're going to do now is I'm going to show the Sophie thing, right? So don't go anywhere. I'll take you off my screen, but stay watching, right? And so that's really, really fun. But then afterwards, we're going to show the People's Choice Medley. From Dinner Theatre 2017, where you finished the show, and the first act, which I think is really, really cool. This person is actually from Turkey, and this wonderful lady. So no, wait, I'm Turkish, but currently living in Nashville. There you go.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah. We met right before I went actually to Turkey. So that was awesome. She was very helpful.
I really enjoyed Turkey. We went to Ishmalar. So we did when we were on holiday with Lydia and Amy and Vicky, and it was a beautiful, beautiful country, and I hope to go back sometime. So, ladies and gentlemen, in our studio audience, let's give one more big round of applause to Alyssa, and thank her for coming on the show. Alyssa, thank you so much, and we will see you very soon. Mwah. Bye. So guys, there you go. That was my special guest, Alissa Klein, on the show. So we're going to move very quickly on to our next segment, which is What's on the Insta? So here we go. This is the first one that pops up on my Insta. So Elaine, you're going to love me for this. So this is my friend Elaine. She was in our pantomime this year, but just check out how epic that makeup looks. That's not fake, people. That's real. I think that's pretty awesome. And then let's see who else we got. We've Joanna Johnson. She has come home. She has made it back from Scotland, and she is back home. Olivia, I love this one. She's like, I just want to eat out, people. I just want to eat out. And then Courtney, doing what Courtney does best. Loving a wee glass. But loving life too. And then some Disney Plus stuff going on here too. And then Spider and Abby, who are promoting their Believe Summer Camp workshops with a couple of our other young American friends. So that was just a few things. Let's go to Sophie's Insta. Sophie has sent me a message saying that there is a little personalized thing going on in here as well. So I don't know. I'm excited to see what this is. So I'm going to make her full screen, and then let's see what's going on with Sophie's Insta.
Hi, my name's Chandler. Could I be wearing any more clothes? Okay, I do not sound like that. That is so not true. Because weddings are a great place to meet women, and when I dance like this. I don't know why it's coming out all loud and squeaky, because really, I'm fine. Oh my god, this is super new spell.
People say I look like my dad. Are you serious? Uh-oh. Hey, hey, hey. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I said, hey boy, sitting in your tree. Mommy wants to know if you'll come for tea. Don't be shy, straighten up your tie. Get down from the treehouse up to the sky. Gotta let me in. Hey, 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 let the fun begin. Hey, I'm a wolf today. Hey, I'll rap, running away. Say you won't, say you'll do what I know. Say you're true, say to me. Say what he, say you will, say you won't. Say you'll do what I know. Say you're true, say to me. Get a life. Say what he.
Play with the girls, play with the boys. Do you ever get tired playing with your toys? We can dance, we can sing. I'll be the queen and you'll be the king.
Hey girl, up in the tree, throw down a ladder, let's go for a tea. I believe you gotta hush the doors. Show me yours, I'll show you mine, whatever.
Gotta let me in. Hey, let the fun begin. Hey, I'm a wolf today.
Oh my days! Oh,
I'm
hold
looking
on,
forward
there's
to reading
BBC
the-
coming on. I don't want them to be on. Oh, let's get this off. Oh my word, Sophie. Oh, you are priceless in every single way. I still love the fact that you are building a rapport of different wigs. That's one of my favorite things right now. But then the fact that you played that, so that let's get a bit of context to what that was, folks. So that little last bit was when we were in Danville, Kentucky last summer. It was Joanna Johnson, myself, Jenna, and Sophie, and we were performing in the farmers market, and we were doing a little Irish, what were they called? Bewitched, and I completely forgot the words and made them up at the end. But there you go, you live and you learn. That was so much fun, Sophie. Mwah! I love you. Thank you so much. So yeah, just before we go then, folks, it is now time for that special part of the show where we open the vault. And we're going to show you a video of one of our medleys from a recent show. This one is actually from the dinner theatre Alissa and I spoke about on our show tonight from 2017. This is when we had a really big cast of a lot of our juniors as well as our seniors. And this was the closer of our show. Our show was all to do with different awards. And this one was called the... Oh, what's happened? Did I just freeze? I think I did. Hi, Alissa. I think I just froze. I think I just froze. Uh-oh. That's not good. Maybe it's my battery. Hold on, folks. Hold on. I will be back. I will be back. Secrets out, people. It's a green screen. Yeah, sorry, my battery had died there. I forgot to put fresh ones in at the start of the show. But that's whatever. Anyway, so this is our dinner theatre. It was all about awards, and it finishes with Alissa singing the wonderful. Yes, I know, Russell. It's a green screen. He's like, I've been bamboozled. It's a really good green screen effect, though, isn't it? Like, it's really, really good. It's mainly because of the lighting. Anyway, I knew you'd love that, Russell. I knew you'd love that. Right, here we go, folks. This is the People's Choice Awards.
Okay, so the next medley we'd like to perform is the People's Choice medley. And for this one, we thought we'd keep it the theme and let you choose whether you would like to hear all about that bass or forget you. And tonight, by only one vote, the choice was all about that bass. Because you know I'm all about that bass, no travel. I'm all about that bass, no travel. I'm all about that bass, no travel. I'm all about that bass, I'm bringing pretty back. Good times, give you ladies back. No, I'm just playing, I know you think that. But I'm here to tell you, every inch of you is perfect from the bottom to the top. did it again. I played with your heart, got lost in the game. Ooh, baby, baby, oops, you think I'm in love, but I'm sent from above. Hit me, baby, one more time.
Well done to that cast. Good job. Oh, good times that I'm just sorely missing just due to this COVID-19. No shows going on at the minute. Not really. But actually, that's a lie. Because we have our online talent show coming up very, very, very soon. And actually, here's just a very quick promo. Oh, where did it go, Ryan? Where did it go? I thought I had it. No, I'm going to have to put this up while I find it. So, boom. Here is our poster for it. It's called Let Me Quarantine You. Let me quarantine you. It's a wee online talent show. 50 quid for the first prize. And all you got to do is send us through a video of you performing that we will put out on our show for everybody to be able to watch and see. So, let me just go to my Uplift folder where I will find you our most recent promo of this show with a wee L and right here. All right, folks. So this is our promo for the talent show. So there you go, folks. A talent show coming up very, very soon. The heats are this weekend, so if you're interested in any more information about that, please do get in touch. That is all for the show, but without one more thing. Our positive quote for ending the show. So nobody can go back and start a new beginning, but anyone can start today and make a new ending. Boom. Did I just blow your minds? Yes, I did. That wasn't totally my quote anyway, by the way. That was Maria Robinson. So thank you very much, Maria, for that wonderful, wonderful quote. And guys, we wish you all the very best. Take care. God bless. See you on Thursday as we then bring on to the show Miss Sarah Lyle, who is a UK and Northern Irish theatre director and also co-founder of Create Theatre. And we're going to be talking to her about the arts and how things are going on here in Northern Ireland. So good night. God bless. Take care. And we'll see you all on Thursday.